We're going to call the Board of Supervisors meeting to order. Please rise. Welcome to silent prayer. All the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I would like to request the clerk call the roll.
MacArthur. Weigel.
Here.
Holmes.
Here.
Simmons.
Here.
Stats.
Here.
Adams.
Here.
Wolf.
Here.
Collins.
Here.
Riley. Eldridge.
Here.
Helsley.
Here.
Dvorak.
Here.
Ligonia.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Mia.
Yeah.
Chamigas.
Here.
Mussman.
Here.
Scalera. Duzzy.
Here.
Holtling. Morel.
Here.
Knott.
Here.
Skoda.
Present.
178.2 present, 21.8 absent.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to open a public hearing for local law 3 of 2025 and ask the clerk to read the notice.
Please take notice that the Columbia County Board of Supervisors shall hold a public hearing on the 9th day of April 2025 at 7 p.m. held in the Columbia County Board of Supervisors Chambers, 401 State Street, Hudson, New York, concerning proposed enactment of local law 3 of 2025 adopting a sanitary code for the County of Columbia. Copies of said proposed local law are available in the clerk of the board's office or posted to the Columbia County website. By order of the clerk of the board, Kelly S. Vaccaro, dated March 27th, 2025.
Thank you. All right. Are there any comments for supervisors? Supervisor Knott.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to thank the Health Department for their work on this. I was part of a meeting with Victoria 2 years ago, probably when she first took the position, and we asked her to work on this to try and standardize us with other counties. And so I appreciate all the work they've done on this and finally getting it to us. Thank you.
Any other supervisors? Anyone from the public have any comments? Okay, with that, I'm going to close the public hearing. And we'll vote on the resolution later. Oh, I'm sorry.
So we need to.
But we need to vote on it now. Okay.
Make a motion to pass local law 3.
Okay. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I was thinking.
No, okay. Like,
Okay, I need a motion to pay the bills, accept the treasurer's report, and file the minutes within the clerk's office.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We have a couple of proclamations. I'm going to ask Ron Knott to come up and read a proclamation regarding the 100th anniversary of the Stuyvesant Fire Department.
If we go the first to try out a good podium. It's my honor, our Stuyvesant Falls Fire Company is celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. So we have prepared this. It says, whereas after witnessing the loss of property, residences, farms, and concerned members of the Stuyvesant Falls held a meeting at Dickerson Hall, which is later called Glencadia Hotel, on April 13th, 1925, to organize a fire district and company. This effort led to the formation of the Stuyvesant Falls Volunteer Fire District Number 2, and within 2 weeks, 61 men had joined as members. And whereas at the time of its founding, membership dues were set at 25 cents and absenteeism was fined at 10 cents. Whereas on July 1st, 1925, the company held its first carnival in Clambake. Whereas on April 4th, 1926, the company responded to its first major fire at the James E. Van Alstyne barn on Sunnyside Road. To support this effort, members contributed $1 each to compensate the Kinderhook and Militia fire companies for their assistance, an early example of mutual aid. And whereas on February 27, 1927, the department purchased a new Sanford fire truck, and on June 28, 1928, held its first meeting in the newly constructed firehouse. followed by the purchase of a fire siren. Thank you. Whereas in July 1932, despite the hardship of the Great Depression, the Stuyvesant Falls Fire Company successfully hosted its first Columbia County convention, a tradition that has continued on through the years, including July of 2021. Whereas in 1943, the firehouse was destroyed by fire, but within 2 years was rebuilt with improvements. And whereas in 1962, the Ladies Auxiliary was formed, playing a vital role in fundraising efforts to purchase fire vehicles, radios, and other necessary equipment, an effort that continues to this day. And whereas over the decades, the Stuyvesant Falls Fire Company has organized various fundraisers, dances, minstrel shows, steak dinners, paper drives, and chicken barbecues to update equipment. They have also refurbished vehicles and successfully applied for grants to enhance the firehouse, keeping costs and taxes low for residents. And whereas, despite the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, the fire company continued to serve the community by participating in drive-by parades to bring joy to children who are unable to celebrate their birthdays with friends and family. Therefore, be it resolved that the Columbia County Board of Supervisors proudly recognizes and celebrates the 100th anniversary of the Stuyvesant Falls Fire Department. Founded a century ago by a dedicated group of citizens, this organization remains committed to its community, continuously improving its skills and equipment, and selflessly answering the call 24 hours a day. Given under my hand is privy seal of the Columbia County Board of Supervisors on this day, 9th day of April 1925, Matt B. Burrell. I will present this to them at their banquet coming up in April. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Frank Simmons, Supervisor Simmons, to come up and read a proclamation for county government month.
My honor to come up and recognize all the folks that work with us, I would say for us. We're all paid employees of the county. April is National County Government Month. Whereas counties are the backbone of the United States, local government providing essential services to communities, including public safety, transportation, healthcare, infrastructure, environmental stewardship, and more. And whereas National County Government Month, held each April, provides an opportunity to highlight the vital role counties play in the lives of the residents and in building resilient, thriving communities. And whereas counties are governed by elected officials and staffed by dedicated public servants who work tirelessly to respond to the needs of the public and improve quality of life. And whereas this year's theme is focused on emphasizing collaboration, innovation, leadership as key pillars for addressing the challenges of today and preparing the future for tomorrow. Recognizing National County Government Month fosters great public awareness and understanding of county government responsibilities and achievements. Resolved, I, Matt Morrell, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2025 as National County Government Month in Columbia County and encourage all citizens to learn more about the important work of our county government and to support its efforts to make our community stronger, healthier, and more vibrant. Given under my hand the privy seal of the County of Columbia at the Supervisors Chambers in Hudson, New York, this 9th day of April 2025, Matt Morrell.
Okay, I'd like to request the clerk read the resolutions.
Resolution 119 of 2025 to 135 of 2025 by Supervisor Davis.
Mr. Chairman, I move the resolution for adoption.
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Before we do the next group of resolutions, Supervisor Dvorak, do you have someone
Yes, I would just like to recognize Tamara Gaskell with the Columbia County Library Association. And Tamara, could you introduce?
Sure. So, hi, I'm Tammy Gaskell. I'm the director of the Rojan Library and current chair of the Columbia County Libraries Association, which represents the 11 public association and school district libraries in Columbia County. I'm joined by Thea Scoop, who's the director of the Claverack Library and the current vice chair of the Columbia County Libraries Association. And you have before you tonight a resolution in support of the Columbia County Libraries and libraries generally in the state and nation. So first, I just want to thank you for taking this up. It's been a challenging month. We expect a challenging year ahead. So thank you very much for considering the resolution in support of the libraries. So just to bring you up to date a little bit on the current situation, due to an executive order on March 14th, the current funding situation for libraries is of concern. While none of the public libraries in the county receive direct funds from the Institute for Museum and Library Services, which has been cut by that executive order of March 14th, the independent federal agency that supports museums, libraries, and archives, we do depend upon it indirectly. The state library receives funds from the IMLS, and through the state library, that funding trickles down and supports our library systems and our local libraries. So it's a very crucial time, and I think libraries are especially important during turbulent times. People turn to libraries as trusted sources of information, of services when they can't, effectively connect with social services or government services where they are. So we're looking, and we're happy to do that, but we do need support to do that. So thank you again on behalf of the Columbia County Libraries Association and the residents of Columbia County for taking it on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So resolution 136 of 2025 to 152 of 2025 by Supervisor Livonia.
Mr. Chairman, I offer these resolutions for adoption.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And we do need to do a roll call vote on resolutions 151 and 152. MacArthur. Weigel.
Yes.
Coombs.
Yes.
Simmons.
Yes.
Stacks.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Riley. Eldridge.
Yes.
Pat Helsley.
Yes.
Warchick.
Yeah.
Livonia.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Mia.
Yes.
Chemidas.
Yes.
Mussman.
Yes.
Scalera. Bezzy.
Yes.
Holding. Morel.
Yes.
Not.
Yes.
Scoda.
Yes.
Four 45.4 ayes, 54.6 nays,
All absent.
or absent.
Thank you.
Not right. It's a 4.4.
Yeah, that's right. It's 2,500. Yes,
Okay.
it's a 2/3 vote.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So the resolution's passed.
Do any supervisors have any business to bring to the board? Supervisor Eldridge.
So I just want to, we had a Super Bowl Sunday, we had a flood down at Greenport and we were closed for a couple of weeks while we went through major renovation, which is town hall is now beautiful, but it was before. But now, I just wanted to thank the county and Sherry and MIS for all the help that they did. I mean, MIS moved the computers across the street. They came back and moved the computers back across the street. They set up new computers. They did so much. And Sherry, I need you to get on the website and put that we're still going to be closed. It was just like on and on. It was nonstop. But it's a thank for everybody just coming together and helping out Greenport.
Glad you're back home.
Yeah. It's really nice. Stop in and take a walk through. It looks great. It's really good. Everything's the same.
Thanks.
It's good.
Any other supervisors? Supervisor Collins?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get a chance during a roll call vote for that local law, but I wanted to identify the Department of Health also and Environmental Health and Dr. Demba Kaida for the work on that sanitary code. I believe Rachel Paskey, you also looked at that. So thank you everyone for moving ahead on that. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming out tonight and support of that as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Supervisors? Okay, thank you. Before we adjourn, I'd like to take a moment of silence for former supervisor Doug Givney, who was a Kinderhook supervisor from 2000 to 2009, who passed away recently, and also for Edward Waldron, who was the town highway superintendent for the town of Deconic, who recently passed away as well. So if we could take a moment of silence. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second. First and second. I'll make a motion. I thought I heard you say motion. I don't know.
He's really celebrating.
Somebody say motion.